Hello everyone, thank you for joining me wherever you're at, whether you are on the couch, whether you are on your phone, on the computer, wherever you're at. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now, today we are coming to you from the hellscape that is the aftermath of the Snowmageddon in central Pennsylvania. And I just want to say I'm taking you to a place that I just recently found out about. I am not going to be able to exit the car with you to take you to that place. I am not, it's just, I'm sorry, it's because of this. All of this. But I'm going to be able to tell a little bit of a story here about the place that we're going, and at least show you a little bit of something in regards to it. There's actually two sites, and I'm only going to take you to one today. We'll go to another one some other day. This other one is very familiar, actually. But let's see what the road looks like, because this is a fairly rural road. It might not be clear. Let's see. That's not it. Alright. Like I said, I'm kind of driving on a rural road here, and I'm familiar with the road somewhat. Okay, here we go. So we went from Puddintown Road to Orchard Road here. This is where we're at here. This is called Orchard Road. And to the right here, in this area, stretching right up to that big building up there, which is the hospital, it might look like a field next to solar panels. But this entire area right there, that site that I just took you to and drove right by, and I couldn't drive slow because I have a person behind me right up my butt. That site was an ancient quarry site, believe it or not. An ancient quarry site for natives, for the first people that lived here. It sounds really weird, but it is the truth. Now, we're very close to Penn State University and the hospital. And at that site, which, by the way, is located behind the hospital and kind of around the hospital, that site is a 10,000-year-old quarry site. Now, right here, we are on the hospital grounds. And let me see how to get out of here, because I didn't really want to be messing around here too much at the hospital site. But behind the hospital here, between the hospital and the road that we were on, is this massive complex with which the natives that lived here originally. Let's see how close I can get to it. I better turn around here, but overlooking right there behind the hospital is where that site is or was, and it's right back here behind this building down there in those fields. And the university has been conducting research into this area right here. They have found tools and things of that nature. Right here it is, right down there, right in that general area, right along there. The university has been conducting archaeological digs since the 70s to find what exactly was being done there. And it was a quarry filled with stone. It's a stone specific, a certain type of stone specific to this area that they used. It escapes me right now what that was called, what that stone is called, but in any case, that particular stone is very prevalent there. And from said stone, they created, broadheads, axe heads, sharp tools, things for drilling, things for, weapons of war, I imagine. But in any case, what we know is that site that I showed you and in that general area, it's now basically agricultural fields for the university and an archaeological site. It's protected. It's actually in the National Registry of Historic Sites. But it's protected, and they don't publicize it. There's no interpretive signage. There's nothing there to indicate that it's there because it is an active research site from the university. So while it's protected and it is in the National Registry of Historic Sites, it is not a place that you can just freely walk on and visit, unfortunately. And fortunately, because then nobody will be messing with it, right? So anyways, the natives that were there, they were some of the first people, but 10,000 years ago, they estimate 10,000 years. So we're actually driving through it, to be honest with you. There's this over here, this area. Again, we're back on this road, but it was in this general vicinity here, this general area, and specifically here off to our left and closer to where the little run is here down below, the slab cabin run is what it's called, right up here in this area at the end of the solar panels, right in this little area here. This is a 10,000-year-old archaeological site. On those hills down below. So I thought that was interesting. Yes, we can't really go to it. There's no interpretive signs. There's nothing to really indicate much going on there. But right here at this site, which is very close to where I take you on walks. And back in there in the marsh. In those areas there. That is where they took the stone that came from up here. That is where they took the stone down to the run and shaped these stones into weapons and tools. They actually have evidence of workshops that they created there. And so there are mounds from the first people that lived there. And those mounds represent what used to be workshops. They've drilled down, they've did archaeological digs into the site and found evidence of shards that indicated that they were shaping tools and things of that nature. There is another site nearby as well related to that, another quarry site, but it's not as prevalent, not as close to the road from what I understand. So just an interesting little side trip. You can't really see anything, obviously. There is a museum at the university that has artifacts from the quarry and from the natives there. But I just thought that was kind of cool because it's really close to where I work. And it's right there, in fact, where we just were. Over the snowbank, there's the hospital. And there's the hill that the quarry sat on. $10,000 years old. It's just crazy. That just blows my mind. 10,000 years ago, there were people there making tools in an area that I typically walk at. And I'm just, again, it just blows my mind. And it's something I didn't know about until I was researching something completely separate. And just found that out yesterday. So anyways, I know it's kind of boring. But, you know, for a daily vlog and just drive around, I thought, that'd be interesting. So anyways, thanks for humoring me on that, what I consider a little interesting side quest. And thanks for coming along once again. Dreams, churros, and grass. It's always a different order, isn't it? Don't I always put it in a different order? I think that's okay, because it's the same concept. There's no particular order to dreams and churros and grass. I mean, you may prefer to wake up from a dream and eat a churro and then touch grass, but I would encourage you to do all three of those.